Hi, I'm Sour and I have dyslexia, and today I want to talk to you about it. I want to talk to you about mostly my personal experience with this, but also talk to you about how I deal with teachers and students, the good and the bad of those sides. First, let's start with the good. Students are either interested in learning about it or don't really care for it, so my experience with good teachers is they always listen and make sure to find a way that I can participate in stuff we're doing in class. They listen to me when I have a problem, like when we have to do something on paper. They give me the choice, if they can, to do it on Chromebook, which is very helpful for me. Now let's talk about the bad. Students will call me dumb or say my answer is wrong because I have dyslexia, even though most of the time my answer is right. When I ask how to spell something like because, they'll say, "You can't spell that," which is sad. Now, the bad experiences with teachers. They will not listen to me when I say I need help with something, or they'll say that it's not hard for your classmates, so it shouldn't be hard for you, which makes me think it is hard though. Or am I just dumb? Which ruined my self esteem. But I am lucky. A lot of people have it a lot worse. With that, I want to talk about there's no such thing as barely being qualified with an IEP. If you're qualified, then you're qualified. So now I would like to talk about the drama of the Teachers Off Duty podcast, where a teacher said their kids are barely qualified for IEPs. Another one of the teachers said they love getting their kids with IEPs in trouble with their parents because the kids do not talk to their parents. Even one of the teachers even said they like spelling words out like dumb or stupid in front of the kid because the kid will not get it because they're quote unquote dumb. Even the kid is the farthest thing from them, they just have a learning disability, which is bad. And his apology was saying that the clip was edited to make him look bad, but you have to approve that video to be posted out. And the only reason they're saying any of this is because they got backlash for it. There's only one teacher in this situation that I had an okay apology, Mr. Williams. He's a pre-K teacher. The other teachers who were in the situation were Mrs. Woolley. She made the comment about barely being qualified. Mr. Devon was the one who said that kid, he spells out words like dumb and stupid in front of the kids. And the last teacher I do not have a name for. Mrs. Woolley was first apology was white woman tears. Her second apology was a lot better, but she still has a lot of work to do. Same with Mr. Williams, but at least they've done something to reprimand themselves. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Now let's talk accommodations for dyslexic people. Different dyslexic people need different accommodations. For me, I have text-to-speech and class assistant, a teacher or a student to review my writing, make sure my point is being made. Other accommodations that I can think of are audiobooks, extra time reading, a spelling bank, longer time to do work just in general. Those are ones that come to mind. I want to talk about the differences between IEPs and 504s because this is very important to know. IEPs are accommodations and in-class assistance for a certain amount of time. Like, for example, if you have 400 minutes a week, somebody has to be in that classroom to help you besides the teacher for 400 minutes a week. IEPs are mostly for dyslexic people, autistic people, and people with learning or physical disabilities. Meanwhile, 504s are just accommodations and no in-class assistance. 504s are usually for people with ADHD, depression, anxiety, and some people with dyslexia and autism. And that's the difference between IEPs and 504s. Now that you know this, I want to talk about the dyslexia debate and how it affects dyslexic people. In the first place, what is the dyslexic debate? It is a debate whether or not dyslexia is real in the first place. My personal opinion, of course, is that dyslexia is real, and the dyslexic debate is stupid because it causes just unnecessary problems for dyslexic people. And personally, a lot of people feel undervalued because of this, and their struggle is not real, and they're just dumb. But it's clearly not true. And in general, it causes teachers to be able to say to students that they're not valid for saying that they have dyslexia and they're just not trying hard enough to pass their class, which is so undervaluing to dyslexic people and causes a lot of problems for no valid reason, which hurts me, not just me, but all dyslexic people. So with that, I'm going to say dyslexia debate is dumb. I'm going to read something that my mom wrote for me. She was undiagnosed until she was 18 years old. Dyslexia has been a profound impact on my life. I was undiagnosed until I was 18 years old and a senior in high school. Because of that, I did not graduate with my class. School was very difficult for me. I never passed the spelling test without cheating. I was labeled as a lazy learner and just pushed along to the next grade. I really thought I was stupid, or no matter how hard I tried, I would never get it right until I was found out to be dyslexic. Once I taught myself some tools, I used them and I found I didn't have to cheat to get pass a test. I went back to school and got my diplomas. Some things may take longer, but I know I can do anything. It's something my mom wrote, and she's basically just explaining what happened to her without being diagnosed and how important it is get your kid tested if they have early symptoms of this dyslexia. Here are some early symptoms. They have hard time memorizing words. When they see a new word, they struggle with trying to pronounce it correctly, and they're slow at receiving familiar ones too. Now, I want to talk about some common misconceptions with dyslexia. Some is that we can't read like at all. If we see a word, we don't know what it is. That's not true. 99% of us can read. I can. I just say I can't read because I struggle with it. Another one is for everybody, words do not look right on the page, which is not true. Words look fine. Our brain processes it, not our eyes. Another common misconception is that our best subject is always math, which is not true. My best subject is history. I have the greatest grade in that class. But because of math comes with reading, and that's how you can solve the equation by understanding what it's telling you, it's a struggle a lot of times. One more common misconception is that words move around the page. That's not true for me, especially, but a lot of times it's not the words moving around the page, it's our eyes moving around the page. Okay. Now, before I wrap this up, I want to talk about some problems that come with dyslexia, like self-esteem issues. Personally, I suffered a lot with this. I felt dumb and I shut down constantly because I didn't want to tell anybody what was going on. And I would end up yelling at people who were just trying to help me because I didn't understand. Or I would hide it until I got home and yell at my parents, and I felt horrible for that, which caused me a lot of anxiety because I was worried was it going to pass, or I was going to end up getting held back, which was my biggest fear, which caused a lot of inner anxiety for me, and it would cause me to stress out and start crying, which was horrible. But over the years, I've learned how to cope and deal with this kind of stuff, which has helped me now. Now, why did I do this project? I did this project to show you guys how important it is to acknowledge yourself about dyslexia and stuff like that. Now I want to show you something I did. I wrote 2 scripts for this video. I wrote the one where I used speech to text and one where I didn't use speech to text. I will show you the one where I didn't use speech to text in just a second. I want to preface with there was many misspelled words in there. There is little to no punctuation. And by the way, just so you know, speech to text is where you're talking to the mic and it types it for you, which is useful to dyslexic people, but also people in general. A lot of people use that on their phones to text people. Now, I will show you that script, and I will also link it below so you can see and read it for yourself. So as you can see, this is a script where I didn't use any speech to text. You can see all the misspelled words. I'm going to scroll through this slowly, but you could also go back and click the link below and you can view it for yourself. There you go. So now I'm going to finish talking about how you can involve yourself in the community. Now that you've seen the script, I want to tell you some ways where you can help us out. You could always go to do your own research and educate yourself about more dyslexic problems, or you could also donate to places. Places I found is Dyslexia Foundation and Ways to Give. You can go there. So thank you for watching. Bye.